What's up, guys? John Bird III here, and we're back. Here we're on the water today on Lake Murray. There's a front moving in, so I had to pull off into this pocket. It looked like we're about to get some rain coming down from the south or down from Florida. But I wanted to take the time out while I was out here on the water because I wanted to talk about my least favorite technique and the setup that I have for that, and that is the good old drop shot. So why do I hate this thing? I just prefer to catch them on like a jig or something like that. This finesse style fishing is really causing me to get outside my comfort zone. And to add on to that, the whole live scope deal as well is causing me to have to get outside my comfort zone. So with that being said, today I just took the time out to kind of get out here on the water, to mess around with the drop shot, to play around, to really dial in my live scope on my Garmin. I pretty much got that dialed in, but I really wanted to just kind of take some time out with the drop shot. I'm not a spinning rod guy at all, but even though that is a weak spot within my game, you still got to have it and you still got to use it. So I want to take time out to talk about my drop shot setup. So starting off with the rod, this is a Team Lube Signature Series rod. This is Mark Zona's 7-foot all-purpose model. And so it's a 7-foot medium extra fast. So since Zona labeled this rod all-purpose, I figure, all right, I can just use this for a drop shot. It's lightweight. This little hump right here on the rod, sometimes it's comfortable and sometimes it's not. There's another rod I had in my arsenal that I like better than this rod, just simply from the comfortability of the hump. But if you put the rod in your hand and it feels comfortable, this is a great rod to use regardless of the hump. So paired with this rod, I have the Team Lube HyperMag spinning reel. And currently, if you watch this video today through December 31st, you'll be able to get this reel for 25% off. So the Team Lube HyperMag spinning reel, I like this reel. This is a great, just general purpose, all around great spinning reel. The drag is really pretty good. And to go along with that, the worm that I'm tying on, or that I have tied on today, is the Strike King filler worm in Morning Dawn. So a staple color, everybody throws Morning Dawn. I think anytime you throw in a drop shot, everybody got some form of a pink worm tied on. So mine is Strike King filler worm. And so the line, now I'm a little bit different when it comes to my line, because a lot of people, when it comes to spinning setups, they tend to tie on like 8-pound braid with like an 8-pound leader, or a 10-pound braid to an 8-pound leader. I'm a little bit different, and I'm going to tell you why. So on here, I want to say, I think I got 20-pound braid on here, and I got a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. And I'm going to tell you why. I set the hook really, really hard. I'm not comfortable with really, really light line. Maybe that could help me get more bites. I don't know. But I think when you use really, really light braid and really, really light fluorocarbon, it's like, I really don't like to play the fish a whole lot when it comes to, just in general. Whenever I set the hook, I reel down and I lay into them. So in order for me to counter that, because I have a heavier braid and a heavier fluorocarbon, I tend to loosen up my drag than traditionally, because when I set the hook, I need that drag to be able to, just to slip a little bit, to kind of mitigate the heavier pound braid and fluorocarbon. Now, I will say this rod here, and let's see if I can get you to see this. This rod here has a really, really soft tip. So that also helps me as well, which is why I chose this rod for a drop shot. Now, to go along with that, anytime you're finding a rod, especially for a technique that you're not really comfortable with, it's great that you sit down and you do your research. So I did a lot of research. I talked to a lot of guys at work. I talked to a lot of buddies that I fish with, and I asked them all, like, what rod do they use, what power, what action do they use? And with that being said, that's what drew me to this particular setup. Now, this rod and reel pairing, it pairs very, very well. And the balance point, I want to say, is really closer, about right there. So just a hair above the reel seat. So this pairs really, really well, and it's super lightweight. So anytime you're fishing, like, you want to try to buy the lightest combo that you can get away with, and that's including flipping sticks and all of that. You want to make sure you have the lightest setup possible. And so that's why I chose this particular setup. I didn't talk about the weight. The weight that I have on here, this is just a lead cylinder weight right here, and it's a 1/4 ounce. And then the hook that I have on here also is a 2/0 owner cover shot hook. And so funny, before I had a 4/0. I'm just so used to using 4. I was like, man, I'm gonna put a bigger hook on here, but I essentially have converted and downsized for all my fellow finesse drop shot guys. I've downsized to a 2/0 hook. And I really, really like this setup, despite the fact that I just don't like to finesse fish. I really like this setup, and I can actually fish with this all day long. And that's the other big part when you're picking out a rod and reel, as we talked about in previous videos and the continued videos coming forward. You always want to make sure you can find a setup that you can afford, that feels good in hand, and the power and the action fits the technique that you're using it for. So I just wanted to take a quick second to talk about my drop shot setup. The setup is great, but the technique, I hate it. I think it sucks, but it catches fish. I'll just be honest, like, it really does catches fish. And anytime you choose not to grow, as whether this is just in life or whether it's in fishing, basketball, the moment you choose not to learn how to do something that you're weak at, not to take the time out to really put in the work behind it, you can't expect to grow. So as your peers start to excel higher than you and surpass you, just simply because you chose not to learn whatever it is, that hinders you as a fisherman. I urge any fisherman out there, if there's a weak spot in your game, I really advise you to just get out on the water and to really, really dive into that thing and take the time out to learn that technique. And in life, if there's ever a weak spot in your life or area that you're not good at in life, whether it be managing your finances, if you're an overspender, I'm an overspender. I spend a whole lot. I spend a whole lot on fishing stuff. My wife is a saver. She's very, very good at saving. But if there's an area in your life that you're not good at, like I said, whether it's saving money, whether it's overeating, whether it's you're just too lazy, you don't want to exercise or whatever, I really urge you just to really dive into that thing and push yourself past your comfort zone. Because let's just be honest, you can't grow and you will not be able to get to that next level of living the dream if you don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations to help you grow. So I'm biting a bullet. I'm putting myself in an uncomfortable situation by throwing this freaking drop shot that I hate. But that's the only way I'm gonna be able to grow as a fisherman. Get out on the water, pick a technique that you're not really good at. Watch as many videos as you can. I watch videos from Tyler's Real Fishing, Tactical Bassing, Brian Latimer, Kings of Bass, Next Levels, Protein Journals. Those are my favorite, of course. I watch all those videos because I want to be the best fisherman as I can. And the only way to get better at stuff that I'm not good at is to get out on the water, lock it in my hand, and go do it. So with that being said, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share this video with somebody that you're trying to introduce to fishing. And if you're trying to find your right rod or reel combo, this is the channel for you, because we're going to be talking about rods and reels and how to find the right combo for you for whatever technique. I'm JB3, and I'll catch you later.